We're on. This is Rajo, the controversial author, hanging out here live at the historical MacArthur Park. And as I get situated here, I want to remind you to always follow me on YouTube, Twitter, and also Facebook as well. Well, we're going to talk about various subjects today, and we'll start off talking about relationships. Today, in today's time, 2013, going into the 2014 season, relationships now are becoming a very rare thing, if not controversial at times. And that's because of the different temptations that are out here and different scenarios that people are running into their relationships. Well, one thing I would always say when it comes to a relationship is you have to keep it fresh, keep it new, and always be in tune to your relationships. Look at it as if it's a sports finals. It's the last game, last chance, and last opportunity to win the game. You got to put your all into it. You got to leave everything on the field because there is no game afterwards. You got to just make sure that you're in tune with your teammate. Make sure y'all on the same page, and you will win the overall challenge. Keep in mind, though, one thing about sports finals, when you lose, you can almost be assured someone is about to get traded. So, to avoid all that, the best thing to do is always give your all, communicate. Keep a strong bond, keep a strong communication. Always be, willing to sit down and talk to one another. Now, I'll give you a few pointers that can always revitalize a relationship or keep a relationship strong. And we'll start off with talking about eyes. Eye contact is very, very, very important. What it does is keeps you in tune with each other, and also it's a soul connector in a sense. If you have a loving mother, loving father come home, they got the kids in the living room just running amok. Father's trying to watch his sports channel and everything. But when their eyes meet each other, they smile. Not because he's not getting to watch his favorite game, but because they know they have done it. They've provided a nice home for their children. Their love has produced a home. And they're just in love with one another. And those eyes says it all. But notice something. When your eyes meet, they always tend to lead to a kiss. So you have to always let that be a part of your arsenal as well. Now, as far as affairs go, affairs are very, very common, unfortunately. And in this day and time, the reason why is because the temptation is so high. Never ever in the history of time has there been so many things available for the sake of pleasure. So you can understand why you would see so much turmoil when it comes to relationships. But understand that, look at it in the reality. You have to be real at all times with yourself, real in the situation, and always in the now. And if you look at things in the way it is in the now, you have to say to yourself, well, if someone is not having an affair, that is the rarity. It might seem like the norm to you if you're in that kind of relationship, but you got to understand that is not the norm in reality because temptation is so high. So you win the game when you focus on those that are not engaged in that form of behavior versus being surprised when your mate is. It shouldn't be no surprise. So not in this day and time when the temptation is so high. So how do you overcome that? Well, first of all, you have to make sure that you love yourself first. You have to love yourself first. If you can't love yourself first, you can never ever expect anyone to love you greater than you love yourself. And you notice, and you can follow that line of thinking if you notice, someone who has low self-esteem, low self-love, always usually get the same in return. Thus, you see someone that's usually getting I hate to say it, ran over for lack of better terms, and their relationships don't tend to go in the direction that they want. They're not even with their mate, and that's the thing. You need to be even with your mate. You can't have one ahead of the other. It cannot work. You have to walk the path even. I don't want somebody to walk the path with me if they're going to be walking ahead or walking behind. We want to walk hand in hand together. That's what it's all about, together. And you got to understand also about the times when you're talking about relationships. You got to look at the fact that times change. atmospheres change, and as a result, one person may change with the times, whereas the other one may stall. Therein lies conflict. Therein lies a small implosion waiting to occur. So you have to grow together. You have to walk together. So that is one of the key things I would always say to you when it comes to relationships. So in today's times, it may sound controversial, it may sound contradictory to one's beliefs, but if you're in the reality, the surprise should be when someone is not out there getting themselves caught up in various situations. So as you look at the news, you can see and follow up along that line of thinking. Now, how about meeting your mate? Well, the best way to meet your mate is when you have chosen to self-love and also choose to follow your own path. You cannot meet your proper mate on someone else's path. You cannot get on another's path in attempts to try to make a relationship. It cannot work. You have to chart your own path and go your own destiny. Therein lies the way that you will meet the proper mate for you. If you get on your road and follow your destiny and take your gifts and concentrate on trying to enhance your corner of the world, you will meet someone that's also going in that same direction, which is exactly where you want to meet your mate. You want to meet somebody that's going in your direction. Already you're starting off with something in common. So that's already going to be an A+. From that point, you already have things in common. A+. You're already both on the way up. Very, very, very big key plus. You want to meet your mate in those three realms. On the way up, going in your direction, and have things in common. And those things come by you focusing on your own destination. So, again, what does it come down to? Self-love and also self-devotion. You have to be devoted to, you have to be really connected to those two aspects of your life if you want to have the best things come to you and be fruitful in all of your relationships, well, whether it be romantically or otherwise. So hope today's lesson of self-love and self-direction helps out. I hope that it will give you some kind of way to go as to make relationships work. Now, to the group, Why Do Men Cheat? I hope that this really will be a beneficial video to you. I'm sure I could have said a lot more, but the park is getting very active, so we're going to shut it on down, and we're going to be talking to you here and again in the near future. This is Rajo. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We'll get at you later. Holla.